Hey collective, how y'all doing? This is guiding, excuse me, divinely guiding, chose Starseed, spiritually 777. How y'all doing? Today is June the 29th, 2024. Tonight is 29. 29 has Juno. That is about Juno. Juno has so many names, has a lot to do with each culture, but it's the same of a star. And I live in Allen, Texas. And it aligns to Juno. And Juno is about as a warrior. And she fought with Hercules. She didn't win, but she fought though. She had two kids. They were twins. Now the names in Greek will call it terror and fear, and then the other, I think it's another title. It's another title called Cassius and Polynux. Let me see if I can say it correctly. I'm in the transfer as the moving. Let me see if I see it. Please excuse my little squeaky chair. Make sure I have it here. I always have it, but give you some information about Juno. And I found this in the kids' almanac. An almanac, it is about seeds and what you put in, and it means things can be past, present, and future. But this was for my children, and you never know. You'll find a lot of things in children's books, and everything's with cartoon. Some things is for it. As a child, like you have a dream, you have dreamers, and you're able to be able to create. So let me find it. But yes, she had twins, and like I said, it had something to do with of a time, and she's been put in the sky due to she fought well. If that makes sense, she fought well. So when you think about Hercules, I think I watched the movie 300, and it's so many parts of pieces of it. It's like you've heard the movie with Hercules, but you don't, it's other ways, things that they're not putting in order for reasons, same as the Bible. It's not in order, and it's like you got Genesis, but you don't have the other books. And it's like little here, a little there. But it mean, and the scripture's gonna tell you it's a perception, right? And to look here, there, right? It gives you the perceptions, right? And we're in a time for perception. So letting you know that has to do with the world. So understanding that the Bible, it is they have where I call it canonical, but canonical has to do with can. They can do anything to put anything in a position. I mean, it's not the whole book. It's more places in it. It's all over the place because they had scriptures for the prophets, right? And they had his own thing, So as a child, I could never get the understanding with the pastors or some of them, because they tell you they still learning too. They'll let you know that they let me know a lot of things that we don't know at all. See, I'm the type person who I am. I tell the truth. Some things I tell my own self about who I am before somebody else come and tell about me. I tell you about my own self. Then they let you know some things. My mother always said, you talk too much. Sometimes you tell too much to anybody, and everybody's not your friend. But then sometimes I notice that it tells you that you don't have no reason to hide. Because some people do hide behind their motives in this world, and not to give you they give you not all the story. They give you lack or little bits and pieces. I can say this: after you lose your parents, you get to see death on both sides, and you get to see some things, and you learn more about the death in the beginning, but it tells you the story how it's gonna play. But then when you feel like when your parents is already gone and you have no protection, the only protection you in the physical world, but in spiritual you do. Okay. But sometimes you feel like they both, the spiritual and the flesh, is putting in the position that you kind of like, you subject on a lot of things. And I come from the church, and all my family came from that, from both sides. They were religious, some were spiritual, and it was just traditions. Most of us, the Christian, and I call that due to lack of truth. And the reason why I say that is, to me, it's like the Gentile in circumstances of cutting things that needs to be okay? Meaning it has to do with that. It's the cutting of it, and why you're supposed to cut as for that predicament. Because I really don't believe it's just for the men, circumstances for that. And I'm saying it in a way, and not to say it the way I want to, because I want to be clean. That means have something cut for reasons, okay? Meaning division, all right? Cut. Now, to me, to my understanding, it has to do with separation. And my understanding, a whole is two different things. The whole is a whole book, but a cut, it ain't all of it. Meaning it was more that was not finished, like someone else say. Spiritual warfare that I have. Let me say this: I have read a lot of things. Some of these are gifts, and some things that I still at the point that you still trying to put it all in order. We all have the same thoughts and patterns and gifts that's been given, as chosen. Some are selecting. I never seen much in my life. This is Cancer's. This is Cancer's. As far as the energy, I am a Cancer. I'm a mother too. But that's not the only thing I have in my chart. I have a 12 grand of a whole lot of things within me. And one thing I can say, I have learned things that someone else did not tell me. Okay. That means I studied and searched the whole matter and still looking. When you look for something, sometimes you're looking for something, that you find it and you might get hurt too. Because sometimes something was already done. The reason why I'm saying something about Juno, because today is in Allen, Texas, they had fireworks on the 29th. And that means it lines to the star. And I live here. And it's a story. One day, if I'm still here, maybe I'm able to tell the story. It's a story. It's like it was already placed in the decision making of something that was not going to be in the position. It was already done. And it was a time of things. And it was for reasons. It was hidden, but I didn't understand. It's like you in a place that you're not supposed to be. You know, if you felt like you had your mother had you and she had other children, but later on you figure out it was a separation, it was division, but I couldn't understand it. I understand it was some things that was different. I believe my mother had two kids by the same man because we do look like them, but there's some things that I don't. As you become as a teenager, you start, especially when you start having a child, and you kind of figure it out about some things that happen, and you understand, forgive your mother and your father, and the circumstances that you went through. But as I start reading, I understand that sometimes people are purposely done, banish you as a child for you to be broken purposely. And if anybody do something like that, it's because it's a reason why of your purpose gift. And they knew. You know, I watched the movie the Game of Thorns, and I noticed it was always about it's always gonna have somebody that's gonna be in the library. And with the library is these are very important. That means in the scripture tell you that your name can be blotted out, but they know it's more royalty than more than what has been given. I like sometimes being a plus size person, I wasn't always plus size, but at a point in time I became very I guess called plus, and then later on they call it obese. So if they want to call it obese, but I look at it, it's just big bone. But I wasn't always like that. After you have kids, and then when you start using different type of what I call it parental of I call it for pills for not to have children too. So you have to think about some things that you have put in your body. And at a point in time, it had a lot of hormones that cause issues, different things that you were trying to stop having children. And it sometimes it stays in there in your body for a while. But it depends on your family. If you plus size, it's just this going to be. But my understanding is that sometimes you're not in the position. When I figured something was wrong and I figured it out, it was something was not right. And I start acting like the way they wanted me to be. And when you act like they want you to be, and you fall with it, and the reason because you can understand what is really going on. I have been in a place, and it's just like it's so much. That month, the music for the Black Music Month had a lot to do with that, and also has to do ties who I am. And you know, like I said, who would, for a person like me, would go out here and say something like that, and who would really believe it? Nobody. You know, let me tell you about powers. Powers, they'll do stuff for reason because they either want you for reason for your gifts has been given, and to be tied with them. And then we notice some of the music artists, they don't do nothing, but it's always a mess. It's like they always put them in a position, like they always make sure they bash them first, and for reason to keep a video or to keep whatever, and then later on, then they be out here for a while, and then later on they be blackballed again. So it's like banished first, then become wealthy, then later on become blackballed, and to expose them so they can't do nothing and to be broken. And a lot of people have died. People is taking their life out due to they have the eye always on them. Just imagine how imaginary of a eye is always watching you. Well, I have been into some things that I don't understand. And I like, when I was in the scripture, it tells you it's going to be a warfare, a spiritual warfare. And I know that word, and I know it very well. I have a sword. I try to pull my sword down, and then I become something else. And sometimes after that sword, you very powerful, and sometimes you'll hurt somebody with the sword, even though you're giving out truth. That is necessary. But sometimes you end up hurting other people. I didn't like I guess the outward of how I was asking or acting toward others, okay? Some of the things is just not right. And I just felt like the more I act like that, the more people separated from me. And I had to put my sword down for a minute and find me another way to do things where I can bring the spiritual gifts back to myself and to be able to be peaceful. Now, when you say things like that, you don't want to cut people, but sometimes you just have to be. But sometimes when you act like them, then you both is in the same predicament, and you wonder why. And you wonder why things fall. I've seen the churches being the Christians and the camps. It was the worst thing I ever seen in my life to see as black. I am black, or we all call black, but I am what the Father said I was. And I believe that names and titles is nothing, just perception that's been given because he knew you first. I believe when I seen the battle between the family, and you see the camps are beautiful when they whole lot of them, right? Is to see them in their own attire and to see them all lined up, and you ain't never seen nothing like that. And then you see these mega churches. They're beautiful to be seen and everything. But it's always a but. And then but come from the back end too. You got to sit down on that. And that's on all. I have been through things for different churches from different places. I've never been in a camp, but I've listened. I've seen things that I don't like, some of the things I don't approve, and some things about I know that a man and a woman should do things that they're supposed to do in life that's been given and to be fruitful. But most of them, it's like, to me, is to keep a woman down for her gifts. And I knew that more to look more, you figure out why it was so dope. It tells you in scripture that the women has slacked in wisdom, but also the men slacked too. And the serpent, they all slacked and failed. But my understanding in the scripture is so bad to banish the woman so bad, but the man failed as well. The protection, okay, the woman was silly, and the serpent was there already, been there for a long time. And that fail become a serpent because he has to be next to the most high. But my understanding as I read the scriptures, and I understood that it was to keep a woman in her own place because of reasons. Those reasons was like hidden for so long. But then I said, wait a minute, here's the woman. It would tell you if it's functions though. See, you have to understand that in the scripture tell you that the man is the prize. Does that make sense? Then you get to understand something about the functions of it. Then you woman slack of the wisdoms of it. But understand that it was the bride on all. Now, it's a lot of little things that it's like some here and some there, some missing. But with your function, you should know your common sense to know. Juno is very important. It was something as a woman that had kids, twin at that. But it was gonna be a time that was going to line up to the sky, and you don't even know that you're in the position that you kind of looked for your own. You found out who you really were, and it lines up, and everybody knew about it, but you went and found your own for a reason, because you kind of knew that they weren't gonna tell you. They had already made plans, and then take your friends, your family, and the people that you love. Will tie all of it for reasons. I mean, they go down deep, and they get everybody and pay for that. It was a couple of years, 2020, and when they was paying people certain things for, I believe, I think it was something like when they go to the college and they would pay certain people to find certain people if they were able to get injections, and everybody getting injections at that time. And that, when I knew that they were doing that and using the child support with the men in order for them to get some type of money, that let me know that they was going to come against the woman. So I've been ahead. So I say this shout out to my baby daddy. You gonna lose a lot messing with me, if that's resonate. Now moving on, because let me tell you something about me. I've been already way ahead, but I'm way ahead, but then the stings, here they come. Now, so let's get on in here. I try to tie to what everything is a past, present, and future. The past is going to give you, it's about you though. It's your past. And first card I pulled, it was said, have faith in your dreams. And it has the waxing crescent moon. But my understanding, for those two moons, that is a high priest, matter of fact. But those two moons is not going the opposite moon, okay? This is going from the curve of it is going that way, but the opposite is going the other side, right? Let's see. So my understanding is the Gibeus. Gibeus is going to give you the tweak, the home, and adjust. How can you be in a house 9 years and all of a sudden, and then your landlord decides they don't want to renew it, so I'm in process to transfer from another place and going through a lot. So my understanding is somebody watched everything I've done and surveillance, and for reasons because of the 29. And I said, Juno has a lot. Someone watched me, and they figured out that I knew who I was, and I lined up, but it's the skin color and the plus size is not fit for the represent of who it really is. Okay? Then you have to figure it out. Like I said, when you go search out something and you figure it out, but sometimes you find it out and you get your feelings hurt. I'm in the world, and perception is all over the place. So let's get back on here about Juno. Like I said, Juno is she is let me give you another thing. She is Cancer, represent the crab. That is Juno, queen of the gods. sent to rescue, and it's the Hydra. But it said Hercules stepped on the crab, crushing it to the death. And to reward the crab for its heroic attempt, Juno chose it to represent this constellation. So you're dealing with constellation. Everything's lined in order. And I kind of like Big Mouth tells something, and then the people figure it out, and they put like, okay, now I'm gonna put somebody else in this position. You're not the one. You know, I have never seen nobody spit on the floor walking down to a store and be spit on, and you knew that when you passed by somebody spit on the floor. I knew. I've been knowing a while. I have a love. My heart is big, and love, love. And they know I say that. And love is meaning not just pain, but unconditional love. But love give pain. The number LOVE, it has pain with it. But unconditional just mean no controlling and no conditioned fashion. You know, control and conditioning. That's two different things. But love is going to tell you that. It's going to give you pain with it. All right. So, anything about this particular the understanding that the constellation is Juno. Okay, that's the representative of it. I mean, constellation is all the 12 of the ground, but also gives you more of the planets and the stars that's been housed and placed. And it was a time that it was going to be like this, you know. But it gives you a group of stars, look like a man with a sword, was a name, Orion, called Orion. And the famous hunter in the Greek mythology, the pattern that looked like twin boys that called Gemini the twins. The large bright group of stars in the shape of lion is known as Leo, according to the Greek mythology. Leo was the fierce lion killed by Hercules. Okay, so anything else about let's see if it's about the group. 12 constellations together called the Zodiac form the belt around the Earth. I covered 2020. I started seeing Orion, seeing it in the screens and the TV. The stars was lining up then. And I was like, am I the only one seeing what I'm seeing? You know, being that you have a skills of clairvoyant. See, that just fell off right there. Okay, there it is. Okay, there it goes again. Okay, so the Earth revolves around the sun, and a different part of the sky becomes visible until after a year, and the Earth has been completed one trip and starts again. Each month, one of the 12 constellations appears above the horizon in the east. There to begin is march across the sky. Night after night, the constellation appears to move across our sky until it disappears below the horizon in the west, and the next constellation appears in the east. So it's going to line in of that. So I realized that I watched a movie called Bad Boys, and Bad Boys have one of the machine at the end. I think I was thinking one in there, and they have a voice as a what they call a voice box. They can use someone else's voice besides who's really a person can hear. Okay, if that's on a cell phone or anything like that. So that means they can do that. So June 29th. I guess give you a map. Okay. They give you 5 planets aligned. It's giving you a star walk. You know, that's like star that's walk. So let's give it out. What are they giving? They're giving you 5 planets. It's like the 5 elements, okay? So with that, it's giving you to see 5 planets aligned. It's in the sky. So you having 5 planets is showing in the sky. So it's giving you Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, Uranus, and Mercury will appear together as the planetary of let's call it a pair. We call it parade, like a star walk, exactly. So it's giving you that June 17th observing of that alignment on that, giving you a star. It's a star walk. So let's see what star walk means. There it is. So it's giving you the information. Also, it's just showing you how it's been lined up. So it's called a star walk. So somebody has a star that's been placed in the constellations, Juno, that's been aligned. So, now, right now, I've seen the Big Dipper. I've seen that. And that seen that a couple days, and I knew it was going to rain. But also it's giving you Aquila and Altar. And that these stars is, to me, is winged. The sky is closer than you think. All right. Let's see. So just giving you some information here. We're trying to keep open mind and not to be stuck in a stuck place. Sometimes you'll be in there at a point in time, you allow yourself in that. Let's see anything else. So I guess you understand that the words, things is coming and this going on. It's been a spiritual battle with all of this, and that's why I had my name was gonna be spiritual, because I was like, it's a lot that is not being said. But the constellation right here, it says the large constellation honors the strength and the bravery of the lion. Also giving you the understanding what was the reason why he killed Hercules. And it's like this. It says shy and hard to get to know. The Cancer gonna give you that energy. Okay. And the Gemini gonna give you the changeable double personalities. Smith. The Cancer has babies and twins. Twins is very important. So that's some of the information right there. But yes, and other understand of today has to do with airborne and dreamers. Now this Pisces energy. So it depends on which of the house of the fourth house, which who you're dealing with. You're dealing with the fourth house and Pisces in it. And you know who you're dealing with. So at the moment someone is flying, meaning somebody is sitting on high, up and down, and can fly like an eagle to the sky. And you know, like I said, your names are going to tell you who you are. You don't have a title or something, it has something to do. I remember my mother saying my name was for the light as breeze, like a breeze, but someone else said it was like the sky. Now, if I say past, present, and future, we have so many abilities that's been connected to certain things, has been put as goddesses or anything that it is priestess or family of the generational tree that comes down. Then we're dealing with the primary and the semi to get to understanding who is who. But when they pass the torch to the certain people, some just not placed to certain ones. But the other person is to been here a long time and to try to Gemini the movie. You will get all the information. There's Gemini's is too. It's one with Will Smith, the other one has with the women. So you have two other movies to pay attention about. One is real and one is a copycat. And that deals with copycats, has to do with clones. We're dealing with Tyrone, cell phones, and all of that information that has to do with the movie. And it's called We Meeting. We Meeting has to do with legions. Legions has a lot to do with power, and people are tied to this. I say, as a person like me, I done found out more than what I really wanted to know. You figured out how they's gonna play. You know, if you have so much power, why would a person will make another person little when they have much? Why would you take all that power when you have so much another person don't have as what you already have? Then you know what you're dealing with. If you ain't always been on the bottom, you ain't even got halfway. How would another person that has powers and keep you in a position unless they need some or want some from you? Let me say, get back to what I first said. It has something to do with tied to something. Let me give me a book on it here, because let me tell you something. Give me this. Let me tell you something. I think his name is Marcus Rogers. And I remember before, I think he had a couple of YouTube, but now everybody went from YouTube and now they're on podcasts now. That's the number one thing right now, podcasts. It still has to do with number 5 is the Hierophant. Hierophant has to do with teaching, influence, and the perception of the world is the biggest thing. It's like YouTube is the biggest thing it is on TV, you know. And with that, that's what everybody's doing. You have some of the artists that are musical and they are in here on YouTube and they're cooking. You know what you're dealing with. That is about spiritual battles, about different things, of spiritual things that's been going on. And it's a fight. And it's a lot of vexing each other. Competition is crazy off the chain. Chain got to do time some. And you have seen people in a position, now they're in another other position because it's a time has been changed. Some people just not in here talking or singing or in the musical, they on their podcast. If they're in the football, they doing their podcast. People that has been in the movies, now they in the podcast now. I'm just saying, it's a lot of things going on. It's changes of shifting of seats. But the competition is real. You got people in here. You know, like I said, when I was young, I watched the movie. Well, it's like the series, Murder, She Wrote. And you realize something that you already was doing. Somebody was always behind the scenes watching you all the time, making money out of that. And sometimes we love people and they hurt us too. And we have to deal with that in the world and try to figure out how you keep yourself balanced when you know already. That's what I say about clairvoyant. And I call it the way I want to say it, clairvoyant. And it's the voyage. Like, voyage is the clair. Clair has to be seen with the Pisces energy, with the dreamers and the dancers. You have to protect yourself at all times, be an empath, knowing you got so many people around here. Either they want your source, they want that energy, that good energy, give it back to them. If not, they're going to mess around with your chakras in your stomach. And those orange, you got the chakras, got to protect yourself at all times. Right here. Here's this, the fell here. That says right here, it tells you thorns. Weave together the crown you deserve. Weave together the crown you deserve. Uh-oh. This got to do with weave together. So either the crown you deserve, giving out the information about this balance, that's giving a good thing here. But my understanding, it got something to do with weaving and tied to stuff. And the crown you deserve. And giving you the information, that red is going to give you that power. And those are red, those are flowers. But just imagine how much power it is. Somebody that you dealing with that's got power with thorns. You know, give you that information. Thorns gonna have something to do with the spiritual. It has to do with the Bible. The Bible gonna give you the Messiah. They read that on his head. So now just imagine that has to do with something of other people that's powerful and weaved into this, and they have already made it manifest, like I said. But I was telling you about Marcus Rogers, about his podcast was about these witches. It is, have not seen such, but he claimed, I haven't even seen it, but I have not seen it. I just read what he said. He said that you are tied with some witches in your family, and they're put so many people that's weaved and tied to it for reasons. Has a lot going on, so if that's past is first. And it's about your 14. 14 has to do with temperance. And it's the temperate. That has the tarot card. But it's giving you about your balancing. And that was a past. And also it's still giving you information. You still have the crown. And it seems like you know, when you dealing with this vexing of each other neighboring thing and what we're not supposed to do, you still give you 14 from a long time ago and give you 14 again. Let you know they already knew that you was going to be that, because that's what you're going to be. So that means spiritual warfare is either somebody trying to replaceable, if that resonates with somebody, and replace you and put somebody else. And you've seen it as a child for a reason for you to see that. So that's somebody. If that's a masculine or feminine, because sometimes you just have to call it what it is. The stars is aligned and everything's going to tell you that. If we're in Saturn return and it is retrograde into the 8th house, is hidden in those illuminating of times, of moons. And 9 out of 10, some of them do that in the moon. And some people are in the position and not to know a lot of things because you were so gifted and they didn't tell you nothing all that time for reasons. Your kids be knowing more than you know. Ain't that something? Seem like the future's gonna be right in the front of your face. It's been there all that time. And your parents knew, your family knew, they all knew. You were lined with the basket, and that was lined in the wall. So, understand what it is. So, they didn't want to tell me what it was because it's going to be abundance. So when you hear and you're having a conversation and you start hearing the dogs, a long time ago, this lady told me that they have a certain type of sound, like this particular, this lady had some rats, and that particular type of a plug will stop the rats will stay away from the home. But I didn't know, and I was getting around the house, and I was like, I needed that for myself and another house I stayed in. But if you hear and you have a conversation in your house, and you start hearing the dogs every time you open your mouth, and the dogs start barking, then you're some type of surveillance or some type of paranormal activity is around or surrounding your home. I didn't understand why I was in the predicament. Now I'm in here ranting and telling what's going on at the same time, see what's going on with my rant. But also, it's the energy is going to tell you about 14. It's about the balance. And just to say, have faith in your dreams. And this is dreams. On this day, it has to do with airborne dreamers. Air has to do with the communication. And that's going to give you, it's going to give you Aquarius, it's going to give you Gemini and Libra. And those is communication. And that's going to give you that Pisces energy. It has 2 moons on that. So that is going to give you that information. So, and I'll pull that one here. And I'm trying to pull enough announcement. It's not pulling out here. So reason why I don't, it's giving you 11 in there. So that's going to give you a Libra house, right? 11 is going to give justice, but it's going to give you that house of their relationships. So you're dealing with family, friends, and community, and people that you've been knowing for all this time. They tied to all that, weave to it, and we're gonna give you that wrong energy. That cardinal energy gonna give you that priest. So some of these people you're dealing with, they is priest or some type of have to do with religion, and that is the church. The church is the religious of your head. But my understanding, your head has to do with your, not just a congregation. It surrounds your crown. It is your own crown. Is of your head. Okay. But in religion, it's gonna say it's a congregation. Okay. So you're dealing with high power people with the P words, and this has to do with this is royal, and it's trying to put it in position. It's gonna show it out. Because we right now, we in spiritual warfare, we got a lot of things going on in here. Now, I get that. This here is the moon. This here is going to give you that first thing. This card here has to do with the moon. That's giving you constellation, what's really going on. But the house is 14, giving the balance what it is. I'm giving you 2 things. Now, what I'm going to do is give you one name, give you what this card is going to give you the information. But look at this. You know, an evil queen. We just spoke about my witches with. Everybody's talking about it. It's the biggest thing going right now. A couple years I've seen it, and I said, wait a minute, what are they doing? Here's another. Give you expectation. So it's going to give you expectation is coming. That's the future. Also, it's going to give you don't seek anyone approval. See, when you're dealing with a witch, and that's a high priest too. There it is, high priest here. The first card is going to give you the magician and creation of that, give you the weave of the thorns. It's magic. It's dealing with a person that does that type of warlock, and deal with a witch. But it's giving you a sugar and salt. So either one is giving you sweet and salt. So they're giving you a confusion of a scent of a high priest that she's a witch. Number two, give you that. Sometimes people don't want you, your special, to be to expose their asses out here, and that's the main thing. And if your family didn't want to tell you what was really going on in the first place, because they knew you was going to expose them, and that's why they coming for you now. And the reason why, because they knew that you was going to expose them. I tell you, you gotta learn how people who they are from a long distance. You can't always still coming right here. This is the second time I said that. Here's that closet witch. That's on the 1, 2. That's the 4. That's the doors. That's what she coming in and out. And your closet, looking in your clothes in your closet, and scared that she's a witch, and she up here about what you wear and what you wear every day. She in your closet, and in your 4th house, in your closet. So I say I'm the one. That's why they want me to shut up and be silent, because I'm exposing. 27 gonna give you that. They're gonna give you that cherry. That's somebody's gonna like, I'm seeing you. It's like I say, that's about moving. Also your intuition, because you're gonna have to move something. Because my thing of it is, are you running from it, or you just trying to get away from the peace? But it seems like if you go anywhere, she's still gonna watch you, because she's obsessed, illusional, and she's a witch. Skin. If you make that sense, you dealing with them. So let me go 14 and tell you about them. We're going to get some in here, and I'm going to tell you some other little things here. Thorns, it said, we together the crown you deserve. Now, you know you deserve. You done your time. But you're dealing with somebody that already, if you're dealing with royalty, kings and queens, do you not know that they already then put them position and who is going to be who, and then by the time you figure it out, they don't like each other. But they don't like you, but they want somebody in a position of it. But then you sit on the side, because they're going to find a way to put the other person in the position while you sit on the side. And they'll have other people to come together and tie and weave into and cause problems later on. There's a lot of witches going on here, warlocks, and a lot of stuff that has to do with the Pope, the priest, and the churches, and the congregation, the family, friends that paid for all of it. Okay. So it says this right here is the ultimate card of celebration. Not just yourself, you're amazing. So this is somebody's birthday coming. Happy birthday for Cancers. And it says, but of those around you when you're done putting on your crown every morning. Go and help someone else put on theirs. You have so much love and wisdom to spread, so don't waste it. Self-love is essential, but community is important too. Now, did I say about community? That's one thing, a community, and sometimes knowing the empath. This is the best thing for an empath, and dealing with a community, and it's like the receiving, giving out, and receiving back. It's a beautiful thing, and that's somebody. Okay, now let's see. But number of thorns on number 15 will still tell you about when you're dealing with. When you're dealing with number 15, 15 is a Capricorn. When you're dealing with Capricorn, then you're dealing with a goat. As a person that it goes up, and you're dealing with a goat. Sometimes you have a friend that's been hiding around and always was jealous. And some people you've been knowing for a long time, but maybe sometimes they be as at a point they had a point in what they was trying to do. You know, if you knew somebody, then all of a sudden, then another person start come around and end up and like I say this, meddle around, end up messing around one of your best friends, and then that person end up having babies by another person. And there's a reason for everything. And you're dealing with, and there's a Capricorn here. And all of a sudden, they want what you have. You got to deal with jealous women when you knew friends or family. They be around, they clingy too. You don't know them about it. So, you know, when you dealing with I call it clingy women, it's either they're insecure or they jealous around you. But you have to be careful for you to understand why they're insecure. And then as a person, as number 14, you have to give the love, the understanding, and let them know that they have their own crown. It's enough of stars in the sky. So when you know, an empath gonna know about insecurities about the women, and you know, if you have that much power to know that, that's to let you know that this particular feminine or masculine, you would know that you still have your own. You know, and that's what you're dealing with. So insecurity, women, and insecurity with men when you have the gifts that's been given, and you're dealing with them. Masculine could be so ugly about a woman, about her gifts, and beautiful things has been passed down for generations, and they act out like a woman. But my understanding, I went on here, I believe it's the on Google, I put in there, it's like, what's the worst thing as a man to be so jealous for as function as for, and it said it was a devil. But to me, a devil is a feminine and a male. And my understanding is about to hunt. So you're dealing with a hunt and a hunter, and they hunting you, they chasing you. It's the narcissistic of a narvo. Also, right now we have so many target individuals right now in the whole world. I mean, they have so many on YouTube. And that is using the AI, using the functions of different things or devices that come against you. And they come together, they have voice boxes and saying things and say all kinds of things and say they are and not to confuse you. Remember, a little of that sugar and salt give you confusion, so you don't even know who you're dealing with. But it's all about the star that's aligned. And that is the time of Aquarius. This is the biggest thing. And today is like, my understanding, today was a good day for me. And I knew it was something good, but somebody can take away. But sometimes you can't make everybody fit to something, and some people don't. But you have to do what's best for you and your works, your house, and your surrounding. And sometimes you have people that will use the spiritual, and I call transfer spirits to other people, and cause problems in your family, and your friends, and your children too. And sometimes they'll come from the children first, because in order to keep you unstable, because that's where they came from. They came from that to get the children to for the children to put you in unstable, and then you unstable, then they throw mama off the train. Okay, if there's some underworld train tracks going on, that could be somebody that's the railroad, maybe have somebody some significance on the road and throwing mom off the train and use it for the children. So that though, and he's something stressed and also have a stroke too. Because if they using that, then they also using other little things. Now I'm gonna give you this information now. That's it. I'm gonna go in here and give something. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get on here on the real sword after him. Now I done went that sword, now I'm gonna give him this other sword. Now this here, not gonna be chemical for some of these pastors and preachers right now about me doing everything. Cause spiritual is that. Is division. Division is my understanding with the church. It ain't, it's the whole of me. But it also has to do with DIV, and that's divinings. Diviners has to do with the stars and the spiritual and the book, and everything is connected. So you can't have and have not the whole. Because in the scripture, going to tell you that's one testament, and the second is the other testament. You got the first testament and the second testament. My understanding was, it's got what happened before. See, that's for you to figure it out. That's why the journey is for you. Now, I was gonna give you some more information about this. Some little things about Juno and ability of practical application. Give you a lot of information about who she is. Give you fantasies, and so doing share them with other people. Like she's something else. Today I seen the fireworks, and I seen a star, and it was like it was flashing green and red. And let me say what it says in here. It says like Santa Claus Santa Claus may he it's like expedite. Oh, is it expedite? Oh, expanded or to deliver this respect. They are at once responsible, provides, and dreamers with their heads in the clouds. So my understanding, give you some Santa Claus. Santa Claus has to do with gifts. Very highly gifts at that. I noticed I have never had no issues with my vision. And now that all of a sudden, a lot of little things that I pay attention to. Let's see if they in here can give you some more, give you a fortunate ability to come up with funds they need to realize the success of the projects. It's like giving you the characteristic of those. Okay, see anything else about knowledge. Oh, give you the display of tough knowledge and technical matters and given in the field. Giving you a lot of information. Also giving you, although eager to share, they found difficult to communicate their methods of their others. Okay, give you a quality and produce. It's like products and produce. There's a lot of little things in here. Give you about all the C and ease. They give you accomplished tasks and earn and reputation and also give you magicians. Okay, and number 1 is 14. So that's gonna tell you that. Anything is in here? I give you that. It says since those ruled on number 2 are often good co-workers and partners rather than leaders. Okay. The aspect will compliment and give you the compliment. I said compliments. They're more agreeable qualities of June. Okay, it may also act as a break of individual or it give you initiative of action, producing and frustration, and that is a reason. And it's like may be further enhanced by the moon in phase by June 29th. Okay, giving you that rulership of Cancer because that's the mother. That's the mother house. Okay. But also one thing about mother house, you gotta ground, honey. You gotta stay outside in the ground. You don't need a man to tell you that. You already know that. Okay. It give you advice. I'm gonna give you that later on, but let me get on in here on this right here. Let's get on here. I said, I'll get back on in here, honey. I'm the one about these soul ties and tied and different things that's going on in this world, tied to things. Let's see here. Like, okay, so we're talking about dust devil. You know what dust is? Dust is dust that's been traveled, right? And we're at a time, I noticed when I started reading in the pandemic and a lot of things happened. And some of the movies gonna tell you that some of these kings and queens, a lot of things will happen. They had to call the darkness. And then at a time, everybody was acting weird. And it was a time, the darkness is coming, the darkness is coming. But also it gives you a lot of dust. And it gives you the devil of it. And some things of the dust. And how people, you are acting a certain kind of way, right? It give you an analytic. And it's like analysis, right? It gives you some of that information. It's like giving you a 69 energy, and that's how to do with that. But also give you some problem has been solved. It's been regressed. It's like a regression of a model. It give you something like a balance of temperature. Like I said, temperance. Everything is aligned. And it's gonna give you in that month and what. Okay, give you some significance here. Give you a hypothesis test, and give you a company an estimate of their model using an Excel, okay, and get the results follows and result will follow. See, this is about business and corporate. It's to give you commerce, gonna give you comparison and regression. This is about the act. It's about passing back or returning, giving you the information 69 what it is, but also giving you a surpassing an imminent of a bell rings of death. Okay, give you the Baal. Okay, giving you the devil. Give you influence, enforce, and enhance. Giving you as passing strange, surpassing past tense is giving a beyond. You're dealing with a dust devil, and it's got to do with money. It's about success. It's got to do exchange and different commerces. See, technology is being used for it, and some of these devices has been connecting to certain things that you device with stuff, with the towers and all kinds of stuff, and that's what you're dealing with. And that's gonna give you that confusion and constraint and that's with that manipulation, dysfunction, and everything. It's the opportunity of your success, and this is why we're dealing with it daily. You got this thing. I'm telling you, when you already had the money, and now you got to go down a couple notch, and then you already know certain people are hidden for reasons. But just imagine how you become as that you put all your information to other these people that we watch, and then now you battling with the others. Ain't that something? So, vision of love is a person as individual finding people that they can detect. There it is, detect, or whatever you want to call it. It's a loyal person that can depend on you. That's like clingy. Sometimes you can cling to something, and that ties you to something. It's the manipulation of them, cause, function, keep, chain to another. So every time or try to leave you, something happened, causing a function, wire twist, tie on this tree, confusion. That's giving you the information. Somebody tied you into something. Individuals are as like a dream, a protection, manifestation, dreams, water spirit, guardians of the land, protection. Both don't want. It says don't want the connection true. Okay, will not both ends. to do something, give yourself there go with that sabotage, and that's a suppose. I call it a scourge though, too. It's a game time. It's like moving on else better hung up or causes up actual to step or lagging. Following you up. So my understanding now, now this right here, this is mine. I've already read this, right? So I've been dealing with things. It's gonna give you the information. It's like wave ahead. It's gonna tell you it's gonna say you're going to keep doing this. The person following, they like triggered you with the mental relation. This is that mental relation is still like minty. They're giving you a mental and giving you a pulse too. They're giving you a manipulation of a follower. Somebody following you. It's giving you a tag around, giving you physically tactics and functions of Jinn spirit. Generation of curses, exposing your family on number 6, exposing and protecting you, and the protecting of themselves for them because had a habit. Protective of capacity and technology device, negative of energy, to giving another next door could be, or your community. Giving you the neighborhood of vexing of the number 10 that we shouldn't do, but in the scriptures and they'll give you that in the Bible, okay? Knowing that the America is the big of the commandments, and so they're giving you the information because maybe that's no longer anymore, okay? So it's telling you to get your source and your success. It's about your success. So it's like it's your security wealth blanket. You are the security blanket. It could be a masculine or feminine, okay? But the community that I'm giving out collecting is about what's going on. I always give myself somebody what's going on with myself. I also give you what is functions around. It's giving you some protection, tactics, and what you're dealing with. Havoc behind. It's gonna give you that Knight Cups, 4 Wands, and 7 Pentacles. It's gonna give you a new working on, and this time is a new life foundation and stable comes with love. Or time love of a legit require you people in that have contribute you. Okay, this is putting outside people is about of a victim. Okay, so when you're dealing with somebody with the victim energy, you got to watch that, because if it's a feminine or masculine, watch it, because if they talk too much on it, they talking about to expose or blackball another person. When you hear about that victim has the number V. V has to do with the valor. Valor is going to give you that a valor or a victory. And this person in particular is the victim. Okay, it is to put you in as a blackball, as to sabotage or to scrooge. It's like the scrooge or burning, to burnt you, or to put you burnt you to the point to expose it, to make you little when you so much, because that is different. If it's a feminine or a masculine, it doesn't matter. But that's the purpose in it. But you're dealing with a closet witch, and then you're dealing with a confusion and illusional, and you're dealing with that. And it's gonna tell you right here. It says stop by not to. Okay, there it is. It's gonna give you a certain place, or it is not true, or is a real is preventing your growing. Stop by not. It says stop by not. It's giving you the work. It's stopping you. It's the blocking of it. So they're trying to stop your growth and blocking you, and they want you. Okay. They don't want love is. They're just going to tell you that it was already done. Because the purpose is for you not to have kids. And for reason. And if you ain't never been married and you of age, did you know somebody had something had to do with that? And that's in your family, your generation. They was particularly for you not to be in that position. It's telling you right here, move on, new beginning, people behind, darkness, rejection. It's giving you being too many problems of true manifestation of a new positive. Carrying and day by day, it's giving you of an unhappiness to everyone in the house. Control your place of placism. So that's what's going to give you that. See, when you dealing with that type of stuff, it's because someone else have sent out the transferring spirits in the closet witch, and which will be that in a house of the Pisces. Somebody you dealing with a Pisces. Pisces and a Scorpio, matter of fact. Soul tie. Let me give you something. Spirit soul ties is dimensions of levels. Now, we done went through all of that. We're in different dimensions of levels of devils. Okay? Give you a hunt and a hunter who you dealing with. And some people wants to use you as a blanket and be misused and used like not for you to do it. You're just here for them to get the blessing for the whole family. You just here, but not to receive it. Okay, they didn't want you to be married and not to have children. It's like they came in between every time that you had someone and to interfere. That's like that. That left and right. You know, it's like a witch, and it's go. That's what their particular. That's like somebody is trying to stop and to do type of things with the moon that cause problems. It's like if everything is being aligned straight and you go forward, but when it go back, then it's like retrograde, right? So that means and it turned it around. So that's why we don't have to worry about do too much about to harm other each other, because the planets is going and the stars are aligned. You don't have to do nothing, because what we need to worry about is how we deal with other people. Like when a war is two different things. It ain't gonna be pretty. And I've learned that. I said, well, if you want to act like that, I act just like you, and then we'll fall together. Because if I'm acting a fool, then they are too. So we're doing the same thing. So who's gonna do what? Who's gonna go forward? So then a lot of stuff's falling all over the place. And it says in scriptures that it was gonna be a time that it was gonna be falling away from everything. You're gonna have mother go against the daughter, and daughter go against the mother, son go against the father, and the father go against the son. So it's gonna give you all that information about a time. And you know, in scripture's gonna tell you in Deuteronomy that the man and the woman was going against each other, but I believe it was in Genesis. So tell you that. It gives you some demonic soul ties. Demonic. D means separation of it. Okay? Giving you the moon cycles of how they do it. Giving you intense and different type of the gibbous of waxing of fames. Like I say, with the phases of moon, it's going to give you certain things that they do. And what gets me, when I start reading some of the scripture, and I couldn't understand why some of them tell you not to use this and this and that, and I didn't understand why. I was like, well, why would someone would give you all the beautiful things in this world and not to use it? And I said, well, it can't be like that, because in the almanac, it's going to tell you what time of seasons in order to do things. And if we knew how to put something in the seed at times of ground, then I knew right then that something's more than what it really is. Because it's like what you do is when you harm another of a human being, then you become demonic and evil and wicked. See, it's what you put in of the blessings that the Father give you is going to give you one moment. So what's going to give you is certain things when you do things that you shouldn't do with the different types of things of the stars. And it's been a line of constellations and planets and the moons and the sun. Certain things we're supposed to do in order to produce and to bring fruit. But it's bring to yourself and be good, but not to harm each other. And to this day, it seems like it ain't nothing new. It seems like as grown as you be, if people be so grown and they older and you think that they act right, but they become immature all of a sudden. Then you tell you something, tease you at a time as when older and get senior, they become older and they be elders and they become as a child. And then then they become so immature. But at a point in time, they used to have the strength, and you looked up, and then all of a sudden they get of age, and then they end up acting immature, and you looked up for them. See, that's what we're dealing with. Okay. Let's see here. Matthew 5:28 says right here. It says, "But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her have committed adultery with her already in his heart." Now, we got a problem. Masculine and feminine. So when we're looking at the other man, you look at him, but are you looking at him because the person looks on the appearance? That's one thing I can say. I started off Cancer. Cancer has that issue. I'm telling about myself. What you look on the outside can be something so nice and pretty, but so nasty within the spirit. But also you have to deal with yourself, what you see with your visionary and what you see. Because some things is a fantasy that you're looking of some beauty, but then you don't know what's behind of the beauty. It's like the inside. But when you adultery, it's about how you already adultery. That means you already done it. That means that it's giving you more. You already done it before you made it, right? Or you already put it in a position that are ready to make it to adult, like to do it anyway. It means that your thought is in patterns. It's like what's come first before your flesh. That means the perception. Okay? The flesh and the spirit is going to tell you that it's really perception. It's like you already done it. Okay? In the spirit. Okay? Now, it tells you about ties and cords. And it tells you about family, had arrangement of marriage. And before marriage, ties and cords. Like I said, long time ago, royalty. This is old money, old royal, old things from past, all long time ago. It's got to do with Rome, cardinals, and like I said, cords and crowns. And it has, like I said, long time ago. It's telling you thorns too. You got all the way to the church. And give you a little bit of Messiah energy too. Now, what's the purpose of not to be called canonical of being done for a reason? Because it's a certain things of subconscious, that certain things that you do, and then when you put yourself, you're in conscious. Conscious is like, it depends on what you decide to do, but it's hidden things, and some can expose them too, because you don't know. And that's the reason why some of the books are all over the place. I'm telling you. Because to me, it's like dashing pieces. It was done purposely, all over the place. And that made me feel like that was the purpose in the first place. Not to feel whole. Now that's going to make somebody feel a certain kind of way. But it made me feel like, then was it a time for you to, you wasn't finished. You're dealing with, your journey wasn't finished yet. Because it has the other part. This is the darkness. This is a spiritual warfare. And this is the darkness that you're going to deal with. And I seem like this is all it's going to be. Well, I tell you what, I ain't finna play no game for something that was already given. And if it ain't gonna give it to me, then leave it alone. But I ain't finna play with your game. Okay. Now, if you who you are, then show yourself. Instead of come from different doors and not knocking at the door. When you force a person, there's a whole lot of. Then you tell them how much power you got, masculine or feminine. You're dealing with this type of group, socializing, grouping and things, and coming against stuff, and you weaving into things, and that causes problems. But you can move on because it's something that you tied, and that is it's about the blanket that you got, honey. You got a blanket, brother. You got a blanket. With a blankie, you call it banky. You got a banky, and it's a beautiful thing, and everybody wants that, and they want you tied with it. And like I say, blackball and banished in victim mode is what you're dealing with. So let's see here. Yeah, this has something to do with marriages. If a person ain't never been married, is a reason why either the woman that went through something or the masculine went through something and didn't keep marriage. It has something to do, and that calls they call it within the they gonna call you Jezebel and seducing. Of course, you're gonna have that dealing with the dust devil, because it's the first thing is the banished woman is to make sure she's a Jezebel. That's the first thing they do. A masculine gonna put you in the Jezebel spirit, and that's all they got. And then some of the women they got so tired of me, like that's all they got. That's all they gonna say, and they gonna either try to banish you to make you little, and also do things that you not, or to put you as blackball. You dealing with a masculine and a feminine, and they both. Good luck. Good luck, cause that's a war. Tell you, there you go, seducing spirits and ties, witchcraft, and spiritual seducing, and men and women can do that, and it has to do with I'll go that D word, separation of moons to cause invade or to around you. So sometimes you got to find other ways where you can be grounded. So that all tied. Pisces energy, Libra's in there, give you some karmic justice, gonna give you some justice in there, dealing with what you're dealing with, weaving with stuff, past lives, things you're doing with, I don't know if it could be divine or masculine, could be dealing with somebody, you got a partner or something, you got some people that are all social, they all together, they ground, they in it, stars in line, everything's in it, it's a hot mess going on, my understanding, but you're supposed to have faith in your dream, and you're a dreamer, and you're a dancer, and you already has a blanket. It's already been it's already been manifested. Look, manifested. There it is. Man, look at here. Man has been manifested, and it's magic. And you see that? This is about your speech. Your speech is communication of Mercury, and that's going to be in that Virgo house. And also it's Gemini, okay? 3 is going to be that third house, and you dealing with it. 3 and 5s, that's going to give you 8, a Leo, and a king, and an empress. You're dealing with a witch. Got a lot of things going on. And with that, devices, if they're using all kinds of things, and that give you chips, and all kinds of, see that? And little stuff like that. Now, you're already doing a video. They thought you was going to put a video at this one because you can be able to hear it louder. You're dealing with something with your cell phones. I say cut. You can put the mic off. I undo I've been pulling my chip out of it. I've been doing everything. You got something that has been tied to your devices, and you're in internet. It could be AT&T or it could be whoever you tied with, but also it could be your cell phone too. So that when they are controlling, you're dealing with a norbo and a narcissistic into control of your of what you do daily. So it's targeting, and when you expose it, you have to have some action. You have to start doing it, because more you act and you start doing the action, then they're gonna slow down, because after they've been doing it for so long, they get exposed. You have to expose it, and then they'll stop, because when they figure it out, if they're already in out there exposing right now, then you're gonna figure out whatever you're going on right now in your surrounding, and you hearing the hustle. I call it hear hustles, and you're hearing the perception is a reason, because it has something to do with you, masculine or feminine. What's going on? And you're the blanket, and you're a little rabbit. Now that's somebody got a little abundance around. Let me see. Let me get something good thing in here. What I can tell you to these witches, what goes around comes back around, honey. Dealing with, I have never seen so much as witch this, witch that. And I was like, why is it so bad? Because a witch is a choice, a good or bad. But when it become as a priestess and you using the gifts that the magician's been given, and you're not in order with that, that means you coming against of the natural, of the elements in this world, and you wonder what things happen. You become something, and you become something else. See, you didn't become of another beast. I know in Revelation tell you 18 it has something to do with riding, and it's a woman riding the beast. You know what I'm saying? So this is spiritual warfare, and I don't know what the call is, but I'm probably gonna say, hey, the stars align, regardless of what goes on. There it is again. Look at it. Look at that, her font. I'm just gonna place it right here. Look at it. So moon, Hierophant, and love. That's number 6. And 6 has to do with lovers. You're dealing with a big old king. I mean, he's a king, he's a lion. He a beast too. He's something else. 9th of air gonna give you the Virgo. Give me Towers. And the Sun. So, third Earth. There's 3, so that has to do with communication of the Earth, and that is gonna give you either it is a Taurus, could be a Taurus, and a Gemini, could be a cusp. That's who you're dealing with too. So Virgo, Taurus, mixed close to somebody's in that chart. It's gonna be Taurus and Gemini mixed in there in that communication of those houses. So that's a house too. That's somebody in that house. Third house gonna be like I said, got a little Gemini. Also could have some Taurus energy in there. The Sun gonna give you also gonna give you that Also, 19 is the sun. They give you that Messiah energy anyway, because it's going to give you that. Okay? So that's the sun that's going to absorb it. It can be a feminine or a masculine. Okay? But that's got to do with that love, though, and the sun absorb. But that's a relationship. That's something not tied to a beast. Now, this particular masculine has something with their family. It's a lot of stuff going on with that. And so the towers are going to give you that communication, what's going on, why the tower's acting a certain kind of way with that house. Because you're powerful. They want you to be quiet. Because you can turn a lot of things, and they know it. Hierophant is Taurus again energy. And you're dealing with that too. Also, you have a ninth, a Virgo. Like I said about these, I'm telling you about of a time have changed in revealing of the hunt masculine. Okay, dealing with the father, or that is a feminine, dealing with your mother, or you're dealing with you as the feminine, you're dealing with your daughter, or masculine, you're dealing with your son. And the moon gonna tell you that. Don't let the elders, they done forgot some things about what we look up. Okay? They get immature sometimes. Don't allow somebody to come in and cause problems. Okay? We are in this, Chi. Okay? The energy is good. Don't allow somebody watery on your parade about your big family. And watery has to do with emotional. But also, don't allow other people to cause problems in your family because of money. If you of age, and I'll put myself, it's got some more, wait a minute. Got some more water here. Got King of Water. You got a lot of Pisces in here, Piscean energy going on in here. Like I said, Aquaman energy. You got a lot going on in here. But don't allow. You know you are aged, and you know you're seasoned, right? But if it takes that a whole family and generation to come to the point to put you ass, to sit your ass down for reasons, and they wasn't gonna give you what was being given, then you tell me it's a hot mess, and it's just gonna be all over the place. So stuff falling out for reason, but they'll say that they did it to their own self. See, you can't be in the church and to come tell somebody when another person what they done, or somebody made another person sick. Because the first thing your mind should already not to even talk like that in the first place, knowing you're powerful to say it. So the first thing you will say that things is going to work it out, okay? But not to come and put you in a position because they ain't dealt with their own self. That means somebody older have lost the morals that's been given as a child. See, and forgot something. We do fall, but we get back up, right? Let me get with the towers in here, because like I said, I tell you about the towers. Tell you, fall away at a time of this. Fall in our way of the morals that we all fall for it. Especially when you want, you it's like you ain't supposed to be acting like that way. But if it's in your face, then their purpose is to put you in that position. But if you acting like them, then it's both. See, makes sense. We don't play game, gonna play right. But when David said play, he said David. That's the king that's in the scripture. It is King says you gonna act the same way that they've been sending. It give you the same energy because he was in a war, and it had something to do with things on the back of his neck, and he knew it was time, and it was not gonna be pretty. All right, so I'm trying to get a tower. These are new these oracle cards. This is the Good Toro, and basically I'm trying to find a tower on here. I know it's number 16. Now, when you fall is a good thing, and you can get back up. But why is it still falling all this time? And I've been seeing that energy for a while. Because something ain't been changed yet. You can either change yourself or a reason, or you still in war. You're still in the war. So all that water is emotional, illusional. It's gonna give you more of speak too, communication too, because water is about the knowledge. It's gonna give you more of the knowledge and all the elements that you have. You're dealing with all of this mess. It's a mess. I'm trying to find the towers because there's always towers gonna give you some good stuff. So when you're dealing with if you're dealing with being that subconscious and conscious, and you're dealing tarot cards, or you're doing all kinds of things, and you're exposing things and showing from the dark and bringing in enlightenment, you are going to be in so many competition. Now I'm saying I ain't even got in there yet, baby. I'm talking about competition like a mug. You know, towers on this particular of this good Toro gonna tell you surprises. So I'm gonna put my glasses in here. Things happen really fast when this card shows up in this reading. It's give you the appearance could pretend a total paradigm shift or sudden or some type of sudden or upheaval that takes something away in order for something better to take place. Now, my understanding, I say I'm in transit, I'm moving, okay, I mean traveling, and I'm giving you that energy. So if that resonates with somebody, so I'm giving out what I'm saying because I'm going through that myself. So that means a good thing because it can mean new ending for something and give you a beginning, and that's able to do the things that is going forward with you in your life. That could be a masculine or feminine, but the collective is for you. But I put myself in there because I knew I started that way to tell you that I'm already going through it with you, okay? But to dealing with it, okay? But how to ground it. Let's see if they answer. Okay. It's giving you, it could be that it's a head, what they call it, epiphany. It's like the Ephah, okay? Give you that energy. Give me unexpected events will be very interesting and offer opportunities. Give you a positive. It's giving you positive and transformation. It give you a present with my eyes open. 18 on that. That 18 gonna give you that moon. How many moon? Right here. Moon. Also another moon. Expectations of what's going on. Don't seek anyone's approval. Okay. What you're dealing with. There's the moon again. Okay. And giving you that information that to be about your eyes being on. As being on, meaning you're visionary. That's giving you clairvoyant, clairsentence, clairaudience, giving you all the things that you need. It's a whole lot of clairs. Clairs is the seeking and to know what's really going on about these phases. And all these phases, I'm going to give it on here. Phases here. And do good with it. Be something good for yourself. And not to harm another person, to block a person, or to trying to put them in a position stuck, or to redo something so they can't speak or they can't remember. You know, seem like that's the purpose is. You got the new moon, you got the waxing crescent moon, the first quarter moon, gibbous moon, full moon, and this dismantling moon, and third quarter moon, and the it's like the balsamic or balsamic moon. Like sometimes people use balsamic with your food. Okay, it's something type with a vinegar, right? And you use that as far as salads or forever. You can even use it for your meat. You can use it for whatever you would like to do. But Tama is something that people can do negative things that is positive and give it in the world and not use it properly. All right. See anything else? Give me one more card. I'm gonna go on out of here. But this been like a while. And I flipped everywhere. This thing. Three of Water, King of Earth, and Seven of Earth. Giving you 7 forward on Earth. Keep moving. Okay, that's somebody that has forward in Earth. Could be Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Forward with that. The water. It's going to be Pisces. Also, it's going to be Cancer, Scorpio. Also, it could be Aquarius, okay? That means that is the 3 is going to give you that communication. Okay. So, communication in your water. And water can be emotional, but find a way how you can balance it, okay? And knowing that that's about your knowing about your communication. That means the communication of the 3 house, that's Gemini, right? So we're going to give you that Virgo too. Give you that Mercury planet in there. Going to give you Juno in the energy that's alive, the stars in the sky. That's alive. But that water is going to give you all foreknowing of that communication. This is what is, for a masculine or a feminine, this is what you're supposed to be doing right now. King of Earth. So either you're the king of the earth, masculine or feminine, but that's a king, or you dealing with one. And that's going to be as Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Y'all have a wonderful day.